Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Munman Bhattacharya. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Brasilia for a state visit to Brazil to hold bilateral talks with President Lula on key areas of cooperation. PM Modi gets a memorable welcome from the Indian community in Brasilia. PM calls Rio leg of his Brazil visit very productive, says his bilateral meetings with world leaders will boost India's friendships with various countries. Donald Trump slaps fresh tariffs on 14 nations with the highest rate of 40% imposed on Myanmar and Laos. New trade measures to take effect from the 1st of August. European Union gives green light to Bulgaria to adopt the euro from the 1st of January 2026. Bulgaria to become the 21st member of the single currency area. After concluding a productive and successful BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is now in the capital city of Brasilia on a state visit to Brazil. On arrival, PM Modi was warmly received by José Mocio, Minister of Defense of Brazil, at the airport. The welcome was made delightfully musical by the traditional Brazilian samba reggae performance. In Brasilia, Prime Minister Modi will hold bilateral discussions with Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva on broadening the strategic partnership between the two countries in areas of mutual interest, and that includes trade, defense, energy, space, technology, agriculture, health, and people-to-people linkages. DD India exclusively speaks to India's ambassador to Brazil, Dinesh Bhatia, on New Delhi's key priorities and the state of India-Brazil relations. Listen in.
As we continue our special coverage of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's five-nation visit, we are joined in by Ambassador Dinesh Bhatia, who is the ambassador of India to Brazil. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to DD India. How do you think, where is the trajectory of the relationship between both the leaders, Prime Minister Modi and President Lula, considering this is Prime Minister Modi's fourth visit this time?
Well, between India and Brazil, as a matter of fact, Brazil was the first country in Latin America where we opened our embassy in 1948. Brazil and India have always been close countries. They have been part of Global South. And since 2006, our bilateral relations were elevated to strategic partnership.
As you said, this is going to be a very important, much awaited bilateral that is going to happen. But having said that, both countries are agriculture powerhouses. As you said, there's going to be a cooperation. What kind of cooperation can we look forward to in terms of both the countries coming together? Food security, much more sustainable farming practices?
Yes, as I said, there is a discussion between ICAR and Embrapa of Brazil for concluding an agreement on agricultural research. Besides that, let's keep in mind that while the two countries are superpowers in their own right for agriculture and agriculture export, we are not competing with each other. Right. So our trade basket, export basket is different from export basket of Brazil. So in that way, there is also a complementarity because Brazil has certain produces which we need, and there are certain produces of India which they need, of course. And that is being discussed.
One last question. Biofuels, one of the important sectors, mining, one of the important sectors, and as you also said, defense cooperation. Can you elaborate a little more on these three ripe sectors of cooperation?
Mining is very important. Brazil has abundance of critical minerals and rare earth minerals, and where India is looking for partnerships, and we are going to further discuss this during this visit. This is one sector where I think the potential is humongous, and we need to explore all of that. Oil and gas is a sector where we already have investments in Brazil, and we can also use Brazil's expertise in offshore oil and gas for doing something in India. Then you coming to defense cooperation, there is a discussion, and our public and private sector companies are talking about collaborations at the manufacturing level, at the export and import level. A lot of discussion is going on.
So here, as global attention shifts to Brazil with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the BRICS summit, as well as for this landmark bilateral that is going to happen between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Lula, we'll bring to you all the important updates, insights and exclusives from Brazil only for DD India. With camera person Jai Shankar and Piyush, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Later, Prime Minister Modi was given a grand traditional welcome in Brasilia. Acharya Jonas Masati and his associates recited the Shiv Tandam Strotam, while the indigenous people of Brazil's Amazon rainforest chanted local mantras. Taking to social media platform X, PM Modi said, and I quote, "The Indian community accorded a memorable welcome, once again highlighting how passionate our diaspora is and how connected they remain with our roots." Earlier in Rio de Janeiro, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a session on environment, COP30 and global health at the BRICS summit. In his intervention, Prime Minister stressed on strengthening shared efforts to make the planet healthier. Prime Minister noted that for India, climate change and environmental protection have always been subjects of topmost priority. This has also been part of our ancient culture. For India, climate change is not merely an issue of energy, it is about maintaining balance between life and nature. India is driven by the spirit of people, planet and progress. India has launched numerous initiatives like Mission Life or Lifestyle for Environment, which is Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, planting a tree in name of the mother. International Solar Alliance, Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, Green Hydrogen Mission, Global Biofuels Alliance, International Big Cats Alliance. Despite being the world's fastest growing major economy, India was the first country to achieve its Paris commitments ahead of schedule. For India, climate justice is not an option, it is a moral duty. India believes that without technology transfer and affordable financing for countries in need, climate action will remain confined merely to climate talks. The health of people and the planet is interconnected. The COVID-19 pandemic taught us that viruses do not arrive with visas, nor are solutions chosen based on passports. Hence, we have to strengthen shared efforts to make our planet healthier. Prime Minister said the Rio leg of his Brazil visit was very productive. In a social media post, PM Modi said that they had extensive deliberations at the BRICS summit. He complimented the Brazilian president and the Brazilian government for the work they have done through their BRICS presidency in making this platform even more effective. He added that his bilateral meetings with world leaders will also boost India's friendship with various nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to visit Namibia on the 9th of July, a landmark moment in India's Africa outreach. This is the third ever prime ministerial visit taking place after a gap of 27 years. High Commissioner of India to Namibia, Rahul Srivastav, spoke exclusively to DD India about the depth of India-Namibia ties, from developmental cooperation to trade and great opportunities in the mining of critical minerals and diamonds.
Namibia, we all know that is rich in critical minerals, rare earths, copper, cobalt, graphite, tantalum, lithium, uranium, and all these things are of India's interest. What do you think when it comes to cooperation between both the countries? How Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, will it give an impetus to cooperation in rare earths and critical minerals as well?
Yes, these are important areas that would be discussed during Prime Minister's meeting. Critical minerals is one of them, because we do have a joint working group on minerals and geology that most likely will meet after the Prime Minister's visit. So hopefully in the next couple of years we should see some of our big PSUs, and they have shown a lot of interest. After the visit, they should be able to have some investment in Namibia.
far as defense ties are concerned between both the countries, they are flourishing with each passing year, with each passing day, should I say. Naval ships from India, they keep having a goodwill visits to the Namibian ports, and personnel from Indian Army and Indian Air Force are also deployed here to train defense personnel of Namibia. So how are the defense ties as of now, and how are they likely to be in the future?
Yes, defense relations are good, but there is scope for improving that. Yeah. And Prime Minister's visit will surely facilitate that, because Namibia right now is looking for import of defense equipment from India. They are especially interested in UAVs, then light helicopters, maritime equipment for training.
Namibia also has 2 Chetak and 2 Cheetah helicopters by India?
Yes, and we have 4 officials from the Indian Air Force who provide training to Namibians.
India's Minister of State for External Affairs, Pabitra Margarita, is in Cambodia for a visit aimed at strengthening bilateral ties. On Tuesday, the minister visited the Royal Palace of Cambodia and said, expressed admiration for the mural painting depicting the Ramayana, a powerful reminder of the enduring cultural and historical ties between India and Cambodia. He also welcomed the initiative of Archaeological Survey of India to take up restoration and conservation works of these magnificent murals. Thereafter, Ms. Margarita will be visiting Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia on the 10th and the 11th of July to participate in the foreign ministers' meetings under the ASEAN framework in the format of ASEAN India East Asia Summit and ASEAN Regional Forum. US President Donald Trump has reignited his trade war by threatening more than a dozen countries with higher tariffs on Monday. The US President renewed 25% tax on products entering the country from Japan and South Korea and shared a batch of other letters to world leaders warning of levies from the 1st of August. Countries including Indonesia, Bangladesh, Thailand, South Africa and Malaysia were slapped with duties ranging from 25% to 40%. Trump warned of further escalation if there was retaliation against the levies.
The president will also sign an executive order today delaying the July 9th deadline to August 1st. So the reciprocal tariff rate, or these new rates that will be provided in this correspondence to these foreign leaders, will be going out the door within the next month, or deals will be made. And those countries continue to negotiate with the United States. We've seen a lot of positive developments in the right direction, but the administration, the president and his trade team want to cut the best deals for the American people.
The United Nations Trade Agency Executive Director Pamela Coke Hamilton has said that Trump administration's decision to extend a negotiating deadline for tariff rates is prolonging uncertainty and instability for countries. She further said that the uncertainty combined with deep cuts in development aid had created a dual shock for developing countries.
This move actually extends the period of uncertainty, undermining long-term investment and business contracts and creating further uncertainty and instability. Economic uncertainty has real-world consequences, as we all know, on countries and on sectors. Adding to the uncertainty created by the tariffs and related trade measures, we're simultaneously seeing deep cuts in development aid, creating a dual shock for developing countries in the world of trade and aid.
The European Union has taken a significant step towards deeper integration. The EU has officially approved Bulgaria's adoption of the euro from the 1st of January 2026, paving the way for the country to become the 21st member of the Eurozone. European Commissioner for Economy and Productivity Valdis Dombrovskis hailed the move, saying it will bring Bulgaria ever closer to the heart of Europe. Bulgaria's transition from its national currency, the lev, to the euro comes nearly 2 decades after the nation of 6.4 million joined the European Union. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. This is Munmun Bhattacharya from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar. Up next is a special broadcast on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Brasilia for a state visit. Stay tuned.